Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
This is the Red Kingdom Media Live POSTGAME Show.
Welcome to this Week 4 edition of the Red Kingdom Media Live Post-Game Show. We are your hosts, Clinton, Dale, and Lonnie, where your Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Los Angeles Chargers with a score of 17-10, going 4-0 on the season and preparing for a Monday night showdown against the New Orleans Saints. My kind of general thoughts about this game, and we'll probably get into it more in depth. Offense was a struggle for this game, and defense was definitely the star of the show on both sides of the ball. So I'll let one of you guys kind of take over here. You guys kind of dictate how you want to discuss this game in general and kind of break it down on both sides of the ball. But what were your overall thoughts, and what do you take away from this game?
Yeah, so I mean, like we've been saying in the past couple post games, I think we really have to take a bow, or curtsy, whatever you do, to Mr. Steve Spagnuolo. I mean, another masterclass. Like I said again in Chiefing, in our last episode, it's going to come down to third and short, fourth and short, and winning in those downs. And Steve Spagnuolo found a way to win in those downs again. When you win a game and keep a team at bay at 10 points, no matter the hampered quarterback, you can say he was hampered by the ankle, whatever you want to say, you're doing a masterclass on defense. What he's doing is second to nobody. That defense is playing lights out right now. Just not creating as many turnovers as we would like, probably won every game. But I mean, that's just me being greedy. But as far as stopping teams in short yardage, stopping the run when they need to stop the run, just being stifling in that department, and then able to cover on the back end. Like, oh my God, Jalen Watson had a day today. Like, covering, I've never seen so many tip balls on quick slants. It was ridiculous. And this is another one of Spag's guys that he developed. So like, Spags has his handprint all over this defense. If this man does not get noticed in this offseason, it's something going on. It's some type of collusion, something on the back end to where they just don't want him to get a job, because what he has done in Kansas City, we're winning games. We're not winning games because of Mahomes at this point. If anything, he's putting us behind the 8 ball. He's hampering us at this point. And our defense is flipping that paradigm in the game and turning it completely on its head and winning us games, keeping us in the game. At one point in 2018, I'm sorry, not in 2018. What was that? Mahomes, I guess 2018. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. Couldn't keep a team scoring. So to see us getting stops in timely manners and flipping the field, Matt Ariza punting inside the 20, and we really keeping teams down, pinned down, like, it's old school Chiefs football. I love to see it. I know people don't like it, but that's what I like to see.
Man, I definitely get the disappointment of like how the offense is playing so far, but I really gotta agree with Lonnie on this, especially with the defense. I'm just grateful to be able to have a defense now that they're able to get those needed stops. They're able to come up with big plays, even on the goal line as well. So this is something in previous years, back in the day, in the sudden days, where we getting down there, they're on the 5-10 yard line, they get into the end zone, but they were able to buckle down and be able to get those stops, and they also get crucial stops as well well too. When they have good field position to where they're on the other side of the field and they don't allow them to really make those big plays, something that we've seen in previous years as well too. So great job, great performance by the defense once again stepping up. Know that this was still a Chargers team that was wounded, didn't have everyone that they would like to have, missing John Alt, and then also Rashawn Slater as well too. They're 2 tackles, so you see that the defensive line was able to take advantage. So you got to be able to be grateful for that. But offensively, it sucks knowing that we might be missing Rashi Rice likely for the rest of the year as well too. It's going to be tough seeing how we're able to go forward on the offensive side of the ball with our receivers. But what I was even telling Lonnie earlier as well, this is a perfect opportunity to place Xavier Worthy in that position. I'm not saying that he's just going to be this guy who, go up the field 10 yards, stop there in the middle of the field, and then, go from there and get the yards at the catch, even though he can. I know we would like him to be that deep threat, but you need to go to the next guy that you feel like is going to keep this offense pushing, with Travis Kelce kind of figuring it out today as well, too. I like what I saw in that last play of the game. Crossing route, cross the middle, get the ball, get upfield, first down, end of the game. Now we got to translate that into these next games coming up, and him just, give me the ball quick, give me the ball downfield. I'm going to be that guy on the offensive side of the ball. But Kareem, and I'm mad that you said something already. I didn't want to see that yet, because this was my moment to rave. And I know I hyped Carson Steele up as well too. But once I saw Reem back, I said, Steele, you better not mess up. Because as soon as that fumble, as soon as that, that play where Mahomes tried to get it to him out there in the flash well too, and he was telling him come here, coming up, Kareem doing that. And what was he doing? He finished off the game 12 carries for 69 yards, damn near averaging 5+ yards a carry. I think you probably said a little bit more. It could be that. But yeah. And just seeing how he was able to find himself back in the offense. And it was a slow grind too. And that's what I enjoyed. Because I was telling you, as it was going down the field, this is what he did in previous years as well too. I'm going to hit it. You saw a player get hurt as well too. He too big body. I'm pushing it. I'm killing you. I'm draining you. And then he's patient. Once he see that hole and he get upfield, it's going to be a long day for opposing defenses. And it's gonna be we're gonna have our moments where it looks very sloppy. Don't I'm not taking it away. I'm not calling a 30-point game going further in the season as well too. I'm gonna just let it play out. But we can get that efficiency back. You might see some Alex Smith like play calling going forward, especially with Matt Nagy being back there as well too. So we'll see how it goes. I know we definitely get deeper into this, into those moments of the game. But, at the end of the day, 4-0, coming back on Monday night against the Saints. We have a chance to go 5-0 before the bye week. Let's make it happen. We can do it.
Yes, sir. The first quarter will always tend to be the Chiefs' kryptonite, but I'll die on the hill that eventually it's going to cost them at some point, because they'll fall in a hole that they can't climb themselves out of. But as Jim Nantz on the broadcast said several times, it's the 10 points that tends to flip back to the Chiefs' favor. And that was the lucky number that the Chiefs then grinded 17 points out over the next 3 quarters. And your defense pitched a shutout. And the Chargers had a missed field goal that didn't go their way and went for it on 4th down and didn't convert it inside their own red zone. But as you mentioned it, Carson Steele, he gets a total of 3 touches all game for a total of 6 yards and a fumble. And this is the game that decides that Kareem Hunt is going to be, if not the primary starter, the starter in waiting right now, as he has his old 2018 form. Maybe has not quite the same burst as he used to have, but he still has that power, and he's able to take on contact and bounce off for a positive gain over and over again, nearly 5 yards a carry. So shout out to Kareem. This was the game he broke out, and he was hyped to be there. let's hope that it's a full circle moment in terms of his return and being able to get the repeat that we're hoping for, because the offense is going through some struggles right now, and the fact that they lose their number one wide receiver on a freak play after Mahomes throws an interception is about the Chiefsiest thing you could possibly think of. And the Chiefs are going to have to come up with a solution for their wide receiving core. It's in a better position than it was last year, obviously. And yeah, you already mentioned that Xavier Worthy is probably going to be the one escalated into that role, that drag route that he got open on. Get him open and get him in space closer to the line of scrimmage so that ball can come out. Because as of right now, that offensive line is not quite giving Patrick Mahomes enough time either to escape the pressure to find somebody or to let the receiver get open in timing to let the ball out. But there were several opportunities for touchdowns that were not capitalized, whether it's Mahomes or the offensive line's fault, who knows. But the Chargers were very disciplined on keeping Mahomes in the pocket, much the way Chris Jones and the defense described trying to beat Lamar Jackson. So they know how dangerous Mahomes is when he starts to scramble out of the pocket and either runs down the sidelines or finds somebody open down the field. We saw the deep bomb to Worthy, and that was nice to see that. I would like to see that a bunch more times. It's a shame that we didn't get to see that as often, but it's clear that they're going to try to start pushing that as a offensive game plan, because I think that's what could make them the team that proclaimed to be deadly. But right now, with Rashee Rice in serious doubt for a while and Pacheco most likely not playing another snap for the Chiefs the rest of the season, they need a new offensive identity. And I think the two players that we just mentioned, and also the third offensive star of the game, who finally started breaking out, who had more yards this game than all the yards in the 3 games combined, Travis Kelce, starting to make an appearance. He needs to be that chain mover as he's always been. And with Rashee Rice now out of commission, he needs to take over that role that they were kind of transitioning Rice into, as he was getting a lot of those over the middle targets. Now, at this point, those have to go to Kelce and also tied into Noah Gray. So any other guys that stick out to you in terms of the offensive side of the ball?
I just wanted to speak to the Kareem point. Tony Romo kind of touched on it. He was like, "Yeah, he told me he was talking about how he was back and he was going to be this, and this, and he was like, I didn't really believe it. Just show me." And I feel like Kareem kind of showed it today. I feel like he's gonna be a person that runs with some juice. I said it on Chiefin. It was only gonna take one mistake, bro. Go check the receipts. I'm telling you, I say a lot of stuff on our show. When we do our pod. So I said it was going to take one mistake, one fumble, one drop pass, and then that was going to open the door for Kareem, and he probably wasn't. Carson might not ever see the field again, and I think that might be true. And it's no offense to Carson. Carson is a great back, but this is a man that's on a mission. You could tell he's running with a lot of fire. He looks like he's been in the offense before. You can tell by how he's just like hitting the backside on the run, getting between Noah Gray. That's why he got a holding call, because Noah's kind of like, he's not used to Kareem kind of being there. That's some 2018 Kareem sighting type stuff. So I think he can be that same back. Like you said, he may have lost a little bit of a burst, but when you know an offense through and through, if you can get to a certain spot, you can be successful. And I think that's what we've seen today. 5 yards of carry does not lie against a great defense. So I don't care who you are. If you're getting 4.95, whatever, they're going to have to come down and stop you.
And they specialize in the run overall, like stopping the run and running themselves. So the fact that you ran 5 yards of carry against a team that tries to stop the run is a testament to your talent there. I also have to point out that Clyde Edwards-Helaire could possibly join the team this week. We see that as a possibility, knowing the kind of thinness of the running back room and the possible de-escalation of Carson Steele.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about this earlier. I feel where everybody is forgetting Carson Steele is a fullback. They did list him as a fullback on the roster. I think it just go back. I wanted them to go back into stop. I know people want him to move into that RB1 role while Pacheco is out, but his running style is much more like a fullback when you see it as well too. He's downhill, he's putting his head down, he's really getting those extra yards, and you see a lot of times when he's getting passed in the second level as well too, he's a little stumble because he's moving forward in his body forward like this full motion. You need a running back there with a little bit more finesse. That's why I think they wanted Kareem to move up, and once they had the opportunity, they seemed like, okay, this is what we're gonna go to. And shout out to Samaje Perine. So he got me a touchdown. But yeah, like honestly, I think he'll be fine. I want to see Clyde back just because he does know the offense as well, too. I mean, I know a lot of people, get disappointed with his play and how it went about, after his start here with the Chiefs and his rookie year doing pretty good, and after that kind of dealing with those injuries and some of those mistakes. But at the end of the day, he does know the offense. He makes some plays as well too, and he's not going to be someone who is going to get all of the carries as well. We know he's going to get work back in as well too, and I think it'll be fine. So I do think they want to move him up. They want to have as many weapons as they can possibly, because we don't know if we're going to get a vet signing at all. We don't know what's going to happen or if we're going to actually be able to, keep it up. So we'll see how everything goes. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and also I can officially say we have some sad news that is officially confirmed that Rashee Rice has suffered a season-ending torn ACL through a stretch. Rashee Rice will be missing the entirety of this season. So last thing we'll talk about for the offense before we pivot to the more entertaining and fun side of the ball to talk about this game. Do you see the Chiefs possibly trying to acquire a wide receiver in the absences of Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown from earlier, already being thin at the position?
I don't see him trying to go out and get a wide receiver per se. I didn't like what I seen from the one chance that Scott Moore got today. And I did say people don't want to see a lot of reunions, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him, Dale. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a call for Mr. Demarcus Robinson out there in LA. I mean, Scott Moore is a young player. That's a guy that's been around the block with Andy, somebody that knows the system through and through. Not only did he play with Andy, he played with Kareem Hunt, he played with Travis Kelce, he played with Patrick Mahomes. That would be putting together, bring the guys back together again. Somebody that Mahomes trusts as well. He was on a practice squad with, came up with him. So it wouldn't be surprised if they went that route, that's who they're looking at, and sending Scott Moore back into LA, because I mean, he can't seem to make a play there. Hopefully he can practice on the field and get to making some plays in LA or something, because it's gonna be on him. And when we go to him on third down and then you got to drop immediately, it's just not a good look. It's just like we don't want to start going through the same thing we went through last year. That's why we brought Juju back. So if you're gonna do that, yeah, you can go, but I don't think that they're rushing as of right now. If they do, that's where I think they may go, and I'll start the conversation.
So you really want backwards to Marcus Robinson?
Well, I don't think he'll move backwards anymore. I mean, I think he's been pretty solid. He's still in the league.
That's in his DNA, bro. We're not going to do that. My thing is, you just gotta be reminiscent of what he does downfield. It's oddly that if you want to really go to it, after Tyreek Hill, he probably got the best connection with Mahomes as a deep threat. He just makes a play and knows how to make a play downfield and gets in those right spots. But truthfully, with the ones that I know people are looking for, an actual talent that will come in and do something, right now in that moment, just with the skill set, Amari Cooper is out there, especially with the Cleveland having a tough season right now. I don't know how they'll go about that, but we do make odd deals with certain teams in the AFC. And this could be one of those where potential, seeing how it can go, you can make a lot of moves. But at the end of the day, they can find someone. You got Michael Thomas out there who's a free agent. I don't know how everyone would feel about that, but he's slant God. You basically get something back with Rasheed Rice like that, and then you have your deep threat with Worthy and stuff going forward, so you can make it happen. You hope for Juju to at least start picking up what he left off with in 2022. Not sure how much you can get of that. Something is going to happen. But I know people are saying, like in the chat, I know he probably haven't had his MRI yet, but I think as a doctor, when you see those type of injuries, especially in the NFL, typically when they say they're fearful, more than likely it's coming out as that. So I think it's time for us to get prepared for that. I think it's smart that we are looking at it that way, because we do need to start thinking what we're going to do. And with the bye week coming up after this New Orleans game, hey, I think they're trying to make something work. But yeah, Devontae, don't worry about him. The Raiders ain't doing no business with us. They're still trying to compete. They're not doing that. Not mid-season.
If the Broncos could have lost this game, I could have said maybe Cortland Sutton could be heading the Chiefs' way. But Dale, I think you about nailed it. I think Amari Cooper is about the only wide receiver that makes sense for the team and the player to continue to rack up stats and be kind of pay that giant contract, because Cleveland knows that they're not in that position. Mm-hmm. So you have to look for teams that are willing to sell. The Chiefs, unfortunately, right now can't act too needy, or they're going to end up overpaying for something that isn't worth the value. So we just have to see what the Chiefs decide. The good news is they have a late week, so they can kind of look at who they have. And Brett Veach has an extra day during next weekend to call the phones and decide whether or not there's somebody available that is worth bringing onto this team and can compete and take a roster spot outright, and not just fill space. Okay, I'll open the floor back up. You guys, who is your defensive standouts, and just kind of gloat? And I know that's what you're wanting to do.
What, you want me to go first?
Turk Wharton.
Oh, that's Turk Wharton. Go ahead.
Yes. I know he didn't get the sack on the play or nothing like that. Chris Jones was able to get it. Carl Afters got back there as well too. But watch the film. He is phenomenal. Like when they're going after the passer, when you got him and Chris Jones in that middle, it's damn near unstoppable, because he knows what he's doing. He gets 3 or 4 more pressures a game every time he's out there playing. It's phenomenal what he's doing and what he's doing. Like, man, look, I know I'm stuttering a little bit on that, saying the same thing, because he is playing that great when you go back and see it. He's out there firing off. He's winning his one-on-one matchups. He's getting there and, throwing the quarterback off. The times he did get back there, it didn't go for a completion. It didn't at all. He's just playing at a high level, and I like to see that going forward, because a lot of people always complain about what Nadi is doing and Pernell, because they're not elite in that area of pass rushing. They are the run stoppers. But guys like Turk, he goes out there. You can put him on the edge as well too, depending on how you want to set it up with your stunts and your how you want to go about that play in that situation with the 3rd down or 2nd down. He's been doing that. So I think you're going to see a lot more of him as time goes on. And we've been seeing these flashes from previous seasons. Now with him healthy and out there more often and getting those reps, it's looking good. And it's going to be looking scarier when you have him in you back.
Yeah, and my standout has to be Jalen Watson. He was like outstanding. I mean, it's the guy that's going to be opposite of Trey McDuffie at All-Pro. You're going to have to make plays. You're going to have the quarterback stay away from you. And I think Jalen Watson showed that today. He is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to playing outside corner. I think he's getting better and better as time goes on. I don't think they're going to be trying him too much longer. I think the Watson Island nickname will stand if he continues to play quick slants like that. I mean, I didn't see this coming from Jalen Watson at all. I knew he could cover the D ball pretty good, but I don't think he left us any question today as far as his covering on short routes and stuff, the in-between game. Even if him giving up one or two is a thing, I don't see him giving up too many more in the future. His coverage has become second to nobody's, I think, on the team, opposite of Trent McDuffie. So I see why he gets the nod. And also getting in there and tackling. He got in there and tackled on Gus Edwards, made some plays, stopping and run fitting. Being physical, being undersized, like, man, I love that to see that out of corners. That's Steve Spagnuolo's system to a T. And that's another thing I just want people to see. Like, that's him implementing his system and getting guys in his system that want to run it. So getting corners in here that understand that my system is a system that corners have to tackle. I understand you have a Ferrari body, but you're going to have to get in there and wreck that Ferrari and tear it up. Sometimes tear a couple parts off, go to the junkyard and put a couple more parts on. Take some stuff up. You're going to have to get in there and cause some havoc. And I think they get in there and do that. And I love to see that from them. So hats off to Jalen Watson, bro. He played a hell of a game, bro.
Mine's pretty easy. I'm giving it to the CEO, Chris Jones. Putting up 2 sacks in this game after being a little salty that his half sack got taken away last game. So he gets to add 2 more onto his total. You were kind of expecting a performance like that with the offensive line for the Chargers being not quite up to par, not having their starters in there. Their offensive line had a lot of trouble. They were kind of firing at the very beginning, and then the various penalties started to pick up, and then the pressure or simulated pressure that Chris Jones and Steve Spagnuolo were able to generate on Justin Herbert was able to seal that game. The Chiefs at the start were not able to curb the Chargers' running attack, but they settled down and were able to make the key defensive stops when the Chargers were knowingly running the ball and were able to get them for a loss. It still has to be stated that the linebackers and maybe the safeties to some degree are still getting put in bad positions in terms of the defense and where the open target is for opposing offenses tends to be wherever a Chiefs linebacker is on the field. So they're able to get plenty of tackles, but they're not able to kind of prevent the plays from happening in the first place. So overall, you have to be satisfied with the Chiefs defense. I'll still die on the hill that we still need to have things kind of figured out in the first quarter at times. But the Chiefs defense was able to hold for almost 50 full minutes without a single score. It could have been 3 points scored against them, but it was a missed field goal. Could have been another field goal attempt, but the Chargers went for it on 4th down and didn't convert it. So the Chargers had opportunities to put scores on the scoreboard, but were unable to do so. So you have to give credit to the defense there because that's their one and only job that you ask them to do. And it'll be up to the offense to be able to figure out basically an offensive game plan that kind of counterbalances the way you want your defense to play and not assume, maybe as I have incorrectly assumed at the beginning of the year, that we're going to be trying for 30 points a lot of times, where we may be completely fine with winning a 13-10 game and being able to work out a win there. It's obviously not what we would expect because we've seen our offense be able to do some pretty dynastic things and dynamic things. But as of right now, they're struggling. And with Rashee Rice now on the sidelines for quite a long time, the Chiefs will need to hopefully lean on that running game a little more. And Kareem Hunt was able to kind of stand out in this game, and we'll see how he does in the Monday showdown against the New Orleans Saints. You guys have anything else you want to kind of discuss about the defense or transition into overall impressions of the game before we close? Unless we have any more live comments, thank you for those who tuned in. We appreciate your viewership and your support. If you have any questions or comments before we go ahead and close, you can leave them in the comments below. If you're watching or listening to us after the fact and have a question, you can reply underneath that video or send us a message on our social media platform, and we'd love to be able to answer your question and get involved. So final thoughts. Lonnie, you are muted. Welcome to live.
Yeah, good overall performance from the team as a whole. We hate that we lost Rashee Rice. We 1 man down. I think we'll figure out a way to get through it. Injuries happen; they're part of the game. You don't want to lose people for the entire year, but you have to schedule a couple of those in there. We hate the fact that it's Rashee Rice, but we'll have to overcome it. Somebody will have to step up. We have to try and power through. So I think we'll be fine, but it's yet to remain. I love what I've seen from the defense. As long as your defense is working, I think we continue to win games. So defense travels. Now, whether that be on the road, at home, wherever you at. So I think we're going to continue to win. So I think we're fine.
Yeah, overall, good team win. Definitely want more from the offense, but defensively, you always want to be satisfied with them playing at that level. Where you always have to worry about Patrick Mahomes doing a little bit better. That's something you need to worry about. Because I think when you look at the offense, yeah, still had his fumbles. He's a rookie. We really don't want to run the offense through him anyway. So when you think about it, the guys who are supposed to make plays, they are when they can. They're not making no mistakes behind it. Mahomes, you're the one who's screwing this up. And when you look back at it, I know we talking about we haven't touched a 30-point game, but it's just times that they flirted with it. You had 26, 27, 26, 22. This one was the low scoring one with 17. This could be something that is resemble or similar to what we've seen with the New England Patriots at times when Tom Brady he didn't lost some of his best weapons early on in the season. They had to work themselves back up to being competitive when you got towards the postseason. The defense stepped up when they needed to step up. So if Mahomes, this is your time to prove that you're on that level of the greats like a Joe Montana and a Tom Brady. You're making some of these mistakes. Now you're winning. But now be the person that is keeping us ahead and keeping us forward, along with having that great defense. I want to have two things great at the same time. I want a great offense. I want a great defense. That's what the fan base is getting mad about. I understand it's not coming together. We won Super Bowls out off of it, but it's time for us to play a collective game where both sides are doing their part. It's a lot of storylines that always come with a 3-peat. They trying to find a way to stop us with this. Rashee Rice, man. Hey, I know you out there. You pissed off. You fired off. You still number one here. You're wide receiver one. You're gonna make your money one day, young man. You're gonna be fine. So just keep your head up. Get that work in. Go through your rehab. You'll be fine. And they ain't probably officialized it yet, but we know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But good job moving on to 4-0. We got New Orleans next week.
Yep. Shout out to Spags being able to beat Jim Harbaugh at his own game, hold him to 10 points, and shut down his running attack and continue to beat up Justin Herbert to the point where you didn't know if he was going to be able to make it through the rest of the game. And shout out to Andy Reid being able to kind of pivot once you sensed that things were not going in your favor offensively in terms of passing the ball. You were willing to kind of buckle down and run the ball, which is always out of character for him. But if he's willing to do whatever it takes to win this year and get victories and advance in the postseason and get the championship, then I think we all kind of want and expect to see a Kareem Hunt or a running-led team and kind of lean into that strength and then pass at opportune times. So that way it doesn't feel like Mahomes or Kelsey or any of the other offensive weapons are under that kind of pressure and can kind of play looser. And that in turns, I think, would result in a better on-field product. Because right now they're struggling to look their part. They're able to do just about anything they want to, and then kind of screw it up at a moment's notice. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So I would really like to see that kind of taper off. And after this week, or going into this week and the long break after that with the bye week, you would really like to see that tightened up, because if it continues to stay at the level that they are, they're, set to be like on pace as like an 8-8 team based on just your turnover margin alone. A lot of times you assume it's going to like bounce back in your favor a little bit, and the numbers will always kind of skew. But right now, the numbers are not in the Chiefs' favor. So knowing that, they need to be extra cautious about what they do. And if they trust the skill level of their defense that they have, then they need to be willing to play to their defensive team and their strengths, and be able to get games in close victories and play the position battle and the field position, and not so much take big chances. So we want to see Mahomes throw the deep bomb, and I think at times when the defense isn't ready, it can do it. But for some reason, it's just not working out, and the team just needs to figure out what the issues are that are disabling the Chiefs from being the pass-happy team that they always like to be.
So that 8-8 team you're talking about is the Cowboys, correct?
That is correct.
And that's the Tony Romo led Cowboys, right?
That is correct.
So I think the difference, and I respect the point, because this is where I think that optimism come in, where it's a complete balance. Because I think it's good that you're putting out there that if we do keep on playing at this level on the offensive side of the ball, it can really end up like that. The difference is our QB1. I know he sucks right now. I think we can honestly say that he sucks right now. It is what it is. We can be real. Hey, bro, you did a lot. Thank you for one of those Super Bowls, bringing in. Now we got to bring you back to reality. It's time to wake up. You need to get back to that level. You don't have to be like a Tony Romo, because you are a winner. You have played through this type of adversity before. Let's not make it consistent, because right now you're averaging an interception a game. That has to stop. I was going to be okay with the steal fumble if you were going to have a solid game still. I can't make any excuses if you're going to continue to do that, because where you're speaking at, when those mistakes, it can be happening at the wrong time. What has been happening, it's been happening early on, at least, and we can recover.
Yeah.
We're scared that it's going to push and you do it at the wrong time of the game, and that's when we take the L. All right. We're about to be missing Rashee Rice as well, too. That's a guy who got us down the field. At least he turned the yards, because what we were hoping is he was going to be the guy to get us down there. And then we have a guy who's a red zone threat in Kareem Hunt, who's going to get us in there and push us in further. We're going to have that type of approach. And I feel like they wanted to shift to that. So now we got to go back into the drawing board. What can we do? You need to go shift back to 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Dink and dunk.
Juju, Worthy, Kelsey, Watson.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to go simple, but simple down the field. Mm-hmm. You're going to have your opportunities for creativeness, but we're going to have to play to our strengths. And I think that's what Andy Reid and Mahomes and the rest of the team know how to do best. They know how to flip the switch and go into another direction that's going to at least make them more efficient, at least fight to get to the Super Bowl and complete this three-peat. So we'll see how it goes. We who knows?
They have their wheel route running back in Kareem Hunt now. Like that was what they were missing the first couple weeks. Now that they had that, they'll be able to win those short yardage things. I think if you're asking Andy Reid to be able to win like 10 yards at a time with the players we have now without Rashee Rice, I feel like he'd be able to do that. It's just about like being precise with the ball and choosing your plays carefully. But
Yep.
I have faith that the coaching staff would be able to do it, despite Rashee Rice's absence. It just makes them not as explosive as they were before.
Right.
And we have to temper that because you see you see Rashee Rice go out and Xavier Worthy take the top off immediately. So it's not like it's the MVS sometime he explosive, which would bring me the red flags and start to make me think of the 8-8 Tony Romo Dallas Cowboys led by Tony Romo. So that, but it's able. He shows that he has that explosivity, and he has the ability to still catch the ball downfield, which can shift the momentum in the game. But I do understand what you guys are saying about the turnover margin. It hasn't bitten Mahomes his entire career. I just want you guys to know that in general. He's turned the ball over willy-nilly a lot, not at a high rate as he has this year, but he's always turned the ball over, and always has like Nolan voided the turnover margin. Just his whole entire career, it has not existed with him. So it's kind of weird. You don't want it to swing in a different direction like you guys are saying, but I think Andy Reid noticed today 5 yards of carry is scary, okay? And I don't care who you are. If you're coming in the league and you're averaging 5 yards of carry, I think it's going to be a little shift in the offense. I think we may see a little bit more of the 2018. You've seen the shovel pass inside everything. So I think it's going to be more of your old, like you said, dink and dunk. We'll see a lot of feature Kareem Hunt, a lot of feature. He has two veteran backs that are looking like they have a little bit of juice on them. That's what he's gonna use to get them through. Especially if Mahomes acts like he can't hold on to the ball and do what he needs to do with the ball. He'll just temper you himself and dial you back himself and make you hand it off. And I think that's what we've seen today.
Well said, and I think it might make their offense actually deadlier because instead of expecting the deep, you'll expect the dink and dunk, and then at some point you'll get caught off guard, and then either the running play will bounce out, or the running back will get open on a passing play, or Xavier gets open on the sidelines for over the top, or Kelsey over the middle. Like there's still options. Let's just not make the passing game the number one option right now, because I think the offensive line in particular is kind of built to be a power run. So and with P. Ryan in that position and Kareem Hunt, I think those two in particular are meant to pound the rock. And Carson, you're going to get out of the doghouse. Don't worry. It won't be forever. Like you're going to get another chance. Now, if you mess up after that chance,
we don't know.
Then it may be sayonara practice squad for you. But let's hope that you kind of figure things out and get back, because that was not a fun start to the game.
And remember, we doubled up on these positions as well, too. Everybody was like, you got Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. You got Rashee Rice and then Juju Smith-Schuster, wondering why he came back. Are we saying anything now?
Depth. It's very important.
Guess who can move up now? Justin Ross. Nico Remigio. Let me shut up. No, I don't want to try. Let me shut up. I've been waiting for this. Now I just talked myself into something, and we're going to go another 15. Let me just chill.
Yeah.
Nah. That's our time, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for turning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. If you're listening on Spotify, give us 5 stars and follow us on our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Subscribe on YouTube. Trying to get to 500. We got a jersey giveaway coming up. A subscriber entry for that. Once we get 500 at the end of this regular season, but we got to get there, so we need all the subscribers that we can. This was a tough battle. They're going to be going up against a Saints team who 1 week can score 40 points and the other week can't even get up to 20. So not sure which version of that will be coming into Arrowhead 8 days from now, next Monday, as this video is going out live. But we'll be there breaking down the game, and this game in particular. Stay tuned for my Home of the Chiefs breakdown video a day later to cover this game. And also check out the Extra Point post-game article that Dale will have coming up in the next couple of days as well. Lonnie, do you have something to add, my friend?
It's a baby Chiefs family reunion. Colin Saunders, Tyrann Mathieu, Tano Passing, Willie Gay, all back in Arrowhead again. We love to see y'all.
That's gonna be fun.
Matthew's having a breakout season, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
He's
it's a
having
big
one of his
reunion.
best seasons.
He got pulled today. Clean, you didn't see that? He got pulled today.
Oh, no.
He got pulled
Okay.
today.
There you go. You don't watch the NFL and all around the games for 1 week, and your opinion is automatically wrong that week. So that's been our
I hate
time.
it, but facts.
Hope you all enjoyed hanging out with us. I hope you all enjoy the content that we have coming up for this week. It's going to be a big week, but especially stay tuned for next week when we'll have another Arrowhead Adventures episode where we cover the Monday night game against the Saints. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, enjoy your Victory Monday, or whatever day that you're watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.